Hi, I'm Ryan of KINFOLK Barbershop and Hair Replacement Studio, and today we've got Adam Lusby of Ehnaced Sports Performance. Adam, you want to just tell us a bit about you and your gym? And
Ryan. So I'm obviously a strength and conditioning coach from Dundee. I've been doing it now for around about 6 years. Before that, I was a prison officer, and I train just like, I suppose, high-end athletes who want or anyone who just wants to improve their performance, really, from UFC fighters like Paul Craig to people just starting off.
Yeah. How did you get started with gym? Because, well, like you said, you were a prison officer, and you've always done a bit, I think, when we first met, it was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. So I did a bit of MMA, more Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It was always kind of in the world of like combat sports. And then I've always been kind of interested in going to the gym and things like that. So it was actually my brother, who's like, he's a teacher, but he's also a part-time like boxing coach. He messaged me and was just like, can you show these guys like just the basic lifts? And I kind of just all snowballs from there. I just started coming in once a week with them and just showing them how to do some lifting, and then they wanted a program. And then the guy who owns it, a guy called Paul Keane, he just said, look, if you want to train me for free, I'll let you train and PT out here for free. I was like,
Brilliant, yeah. Is that just down at Skyax?
Just down at Skyax, yeah.
I was down there this morning with Sean Parkin.
Oh, we did with Sean? Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, it was good. So Dundee's a pretty cool place to have the gym. Well, I think obviously this is all like local business we're talking about, but yeah, how have you managed to get some of these athletes into a gym in Dundee?
Dundee is, like, it would be cooler maybe being in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But Dundee's pretty up and coming, obviously. We're kind of booming with the front and stuff like that. And boxing's always been relatively big in Dundee. So we've always had a fair amount of boxers. And you've got Dundee Mixed Martial Arts, who are the only MMA club in Dundee. So I had a lot of them coming through. And Scotland as a whole is pretty a small place. So like, it's not too much to ask one of my athletes to travel through, like my professional athletes to travel through an hour from Stirling, say, like this a UFC fighter like Chris Duncan, come through and train at my place, or even Paul Craig, he's maybe an hour and a half away, he'll come through and sometimes train, and sometimes I'll just go and train them. But the way I got people in the first place was by training your Paul Keanes, who's obviously well known in Dundee for boxing, and Skyax is obviously one of the biggest gyms for combat sports in Dundee. And then I trained Scott Malone, who was another very, very good mixed martial artist, or is a very, very good mixed martial artist, and he was a kind of top boy at Dundee Mixed Martial Arts. So by training him, that got me all the Dundee Mixed Martial Arts guys.
That's pretty cool. You got quite a lot of high-end athletes in it.
Yeah.
You've done a few footballers and stuff as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done a few of the, obviously, Cammy Kerr when he was at Dundee. I did Simon Murray's ACL reconstruction when he came back from South Africa. I've had numerous people through the door. Declan Gallagher from Dundee United. Loads of people. It was great.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So you got obviously like Paul Craig. What was that like? You went to the Vegas, didn't you?
Yeah.
Went to the UFC, behind the scenes sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What was that like?
So it is quite surreal because, like I say, I've grown up with MMA and like that's always been my number one sport and stuff. So when I got a message from Paul Craig asking if he'd come in for a session, I was like, oh my god. And then like it just went from there. And of course, and then I got the corner. I'm at a UFC in London, and I think we've been out to Vegas maybe 4 times now. So you're getting to go out to Vegas, or I was in Rio de Janeiro as well, and doing all these things, like things you would never ever think of doing. Like I would never in my wildest dreams think I was travelling over to Rio de Janeiro to do a UFC event or something like that. It's crazy.
It's pretty cool, especially like that if you have just started just PTing in a gym in Dundee, and then you've grown it to your own gym, and then you've taken it even further. And did you expect to travel with, like, maybe not necessarily UFC, but did you always hope to travel with what you do?
Yeah, I think like initially I didn't really know where I was going with it. I thought I would just like, because personal trainers, they can make quite good money. So I just thought like I'm just gonna be a personal trainer, like more on the combat side and have some S&C coach work. But I never really thought, I'm gonna be essentially traveling the world. I never thought I would have multiple UFC fighters or anything like that. I don't even know if I didn't like write down like or sit down and write out as a goal or anything like that. It just kind of happens naturally. I know a lot of people are into like sitting down and writing out their goals, and I probably should have done something like that at the start, but I never did. I just kind of let it happen like organically, really.
Yeah, that's quite a good growth though, isn't it? Like just taking it as it comes and just seeing what's next. And now you've obviously got a few guys on your books, and they're all travelling down to Dundee, which is cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man.
What is it about your gym then? Is it like you personally? Is it about like Obviously, it is yourself, but is it the equipment you've got as well, the space you have? Like, what makes your gym different?
So I think like me as a coach, because I understand combat sports, I think it's better for the athlete. Because I know kind of how the training goes, how it looks, how it's structured, rather than someone coming in who doesn't really know. So like maybe a personal trainer would give someone, an MMA fighter, like a legs day. Like we would never in a million years do a legs day, because if you did legs and then you went and did sparring the next day, you'd be absolutely crushed. You'd be buckled.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So you don't do things like that. So just understand the sports and the kind of what is the need of the sports big. And because I had the background in combat sports, it made it a little bit easier for me. In terms of the gym, my gym is open to the public, so anyone can join. But it's more focused or less focused on bodybuilding. There's not many kind of like machine weights and stuff and isolation exercises like bicep curl things and stuff like that. It's more for kind of functionality and kind of movement and more well-being and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of something a little bit different than Dundee. Like we've got tons and tons of gyms.
Oh, yeah.
We've got so many gyms, mate. But I think mine is slightly different because it's got that kind of aspect to it. It's more functional than anything else, mate.
And you've talked about using, well, off camera as well, you've talked about using the space for other things. And you've got, is it Chris Harden? Is he still in here?
Chris Harden he just left to go to Abu Dhabi. So he's living it up in Abu Dhabi now. But he was great to have. Obviously, I know Harden, we were at the same school and same year, so we've been mates for years and years. And then when he came in, he's also really good. You know what I mean? It would be a bit awkward if my mate was really terrible at his job. Nah, he knows what he's doing, so I was quite happy and he came in. So I've got I think I've got 3 masseuses in there currently.
Oh, excellent.
So he was kind of tutoring the guy, and that person took over from Haddon. Then I've got another masseuse there, a guy called Grant. I've got another masseuse there. Like, they just rent space. They don't I'm not employing them or anything like that. Then one of the rooms is a spare room just now. But I'm maybe looking to kind of open that up as a podcast studio, like we were talking about before. I don't know if Dundee has a place that does podcast studios.
I'm not sure. Look, obviously, we just wanted to use the barber shop. I don't think it too much. But it would be quite cool, especially for guys that necessarily don't have their own shop or don't have a space.
Exactly, mate. And I was just thinking, if I get someone in there who can do the cameras and like the audio and stuff like that, it just means someone can come in, pay a one-off payment, and their podcast is basically done for them. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the restrictions of doing podcasts is just the technical aspect of it. Like, how do you upload it, and how do you fix the mic, and how do you like all that kind of stuff? What cameras do you need? So that's maybe something. Sorry, I'm getting a tangent podcast here, but that's maybe something that I want to do, because I don't know if you're the same, but I only listen to podcasts now. Like,
I'm listening to more and more. The more I'm doing them,
100%.
The more, because you done one the other day as well. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good fun. And like radio, I'm not listening to Radio 1 anymore. You know what I mean? I've not done for years.
But no, that'd be pretty cool, especially with the athletes you've got coming in. Like, just get them in for a wee while.
Aye, 100%.
Would you host that?
I've done a few. I've got a podcast at the minute, Enhanced Performance Podcast, but I just do that kind of now and then. Like, just if I come across someone interesting, I'll do a podcast with them on my travels. I tried to get a few out in Thailand, but I didn't have the time. So next time I go back, there's a few guys I want to hit up for a wee podcast, and just do it almost, I don't know, there's a virtual kind of app you can use and does it quite well, so I'll just use that. But I'll do it myself as well.
That's pretty cool. So circling back to the sort of gym and like your training and stuff, do you think anybody can be an athlete, or can anybody train like an athlete?
Yeah, it's my opinion that, we're all
average Joe.
Average Joe, we're all athletes, and if we're not, it will be beneficial for you training like an athlete. Because if you look at what I'm trying to do with an athlete, or what an athlete's goals are, they're trying to move better, they're trying to get stronger, more powerful, and more and fitter, essentially. And that's going to be beneficial for everybody, from someone bending over trying to pick things up, or chasing after their wee one, or picking up their wee one. It's beneficial for everyone training like an athlete, opposed to, now it's fine if you are a bodybuilder and you want that as a goal, that's absolutely fine. It's obviously, exercise is superb in any way, shape or form, but if you get too much like a bodybuilder, you get tight, you get so, then you try and play fives at the weekends, you're going to pull your hamstring. You know what I mean? If you try to run, you're going to blow out something, you know what I mean? Whereas if you train like an athlete, you'll get the aesthetic you'll want, you'll look stronger, you'll look bigger, but you'll just be more functional with it. So that's kind of my opinion.
That's pretty cool. One of my brothers, he was a professional dancer for a while, and he broke his back.
No way.
He hit his head off the bottom of a pool, and one of the things that sort of like kept him walking. And he went on to work professionally after that.
Yeah.
Was the fact he'd done a lot of yoga and he was so strong, and it was, like you're saying, like functional. It was, yeah.
Well, that's it. You don't know when something's going to happen. Like, and the amount of stories like that you've heard where, like, you get told if you were any weaker, you'd be dead. Or, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So there's a saying in kind of combat sports, it's like, no one ever lost the sport from being too strong. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And it's just, no one ever died from being too strong either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is really good for you in all aspects of life.
Yeah, that's cool. Because like I said, I've been training with Sean Parkin only for a wee while.
Aye.
But it's more fun as well. Like
Absolutely.
doing like do some pad work and stuff instead of just, I don't know, running on.
Aye, 100%. It's like, and also, like, yeah, it doesn't feel like conditioning. People hate doing conditioning most of the time. So if you're doing it in a fun way, whether it be fives for the weekend or whether it be doing pads with your PT or whatever it is, I like doing that better. And then also, if you get in a bit of trouble, Ryan, you can smash them.
I've not had a sparring session or that. I don't know what it's like taking a hit. Well, yeah, but Sean's been great with me.
Nah, Sean's brilliant, mate.
Yeah, he's class, and he's got a fight coming up as well.
Yeah, he's got a fight coming up. He's a good guy.
You go watch that?
Where is it?
It's at Sky Access.
Is that a Sky? It's probably what we're going to watch right now, absolutely.
It's decent. Yeah, but what you're, like, obviously your gym's kind of taken off. Are you plan on growing it, like more gyms, or do you want to now focus more on the travelling side of things? And
So that's funny you say that, because I recently just brought a guy in so that we could do both, so I can do both. So
brilliant.
he bought over like 50% of my gym, like not my online stuff, but just my gym, and he's going to run like the stuff I don't particularly like doing, and you know what it's like with the tax and the dealing with the council or whatever it may be. Like, it's not enjoyable for me. So he's going to do all that and health and safety and all that kind of stuff. So what we're doing is, in the new year, there's going to be classes on in the gym. So we'll be on 2 classes, maybe one at 6:30, one at 6:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. every single day. So we're going to grow it that way, build up to 100 members. I think we've currently got about 45-ish members at the gym. I want 100 members. The reason for that is that I want a bit of atmosphere in the gym where there's people in there and you can kind of bounce off each other and you know everybody, because 100 isn't that many. But I don't want people waiting on equipment. You know what it's like when you go to some gym, like you go down to Pure Gym or something at 5 o'clock. Like, or 6 o'clock, you're not getting on that bench press. You know what I mean? You're just not. So I don't want that. So it's kind of finding that balance between the two. So yeah, January we're going to do new classes, and then because I've got someone else on board, that allows me to go and do my thing with my professional athletes, whether it would be travel or whatever I need to do with them.
is that where you prefer more, do you think? It's a bit more varied maybe, or?
Yeah, like, I think classes, I've done classes before and they are fun to do. Don't get me wrong, I like doing classes, but the glory is in professional athletes, don't get me wrong.
Oh, you get on the TV and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do like that. But then with the pro athletes does come, it is more work than maybe working with general population. They do need more attention, there's more pressure, and also when they lose, it's absolutely horrific. You know,
Yeah, because that'll surely reflect on you.
Yeah.
Rightly or wrongly.
But yeah, probably a bit wrongly. But then if they win, it's rightly.
Oh, exactly.
But yeah, what I've found is, like, I've said this before, but you can have the best camp in the world with an athlete, like they can be smashing their PBs and doing everything right. They can still go and get knocked out in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not a reflection on you, but it feels like at the time you're like, oh my God, I should have done this better, or whatever it may be.
That's quite good though, bringing somebody in, because that's the side of the job. Like, even in this, there's only 3 of us here, but with ordering the hair systems, with ordering the products, like, I hate all that.
Yeah, man.
Because you forget as well. You're
100%.
working during the day, and then by the time you get to night and you forget, or you can't be bothered, and yeah, that's the side, and then you'll enjoy your job more.
Well, 100%. And like, people don't, because they don't see that side of running the business, they don't quite understand it, and they always think like, oh, I messaged you and you didn't message back, and like, you might have seen it and thought, oh, I'm going to message that later, and you'll forget. Or you've just been on your phone for 4 hours straight messaging people. And the last thing you want to do is, because it's not just one message. People think it's just they message, you message back, then they message. You know what I mean? It's a back and forth, and you can't be on your phone the whole time. You know what I mean? You need a little bit of like downtime to yourself, and you know yourself, it's very hard to do that. And like, do you the same as me? Like, I get, I'll get guilty if I have like downtime. Like, so if I like go and watch movies, or I used to play games when I was a geek, right? I would feel horrendous afterwards, but oh fuck, I should have been doing this and I should have been that. And it's impossible just to turn off, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like that. Like, I take a day off. Like, obviously I take days off every week, but I'm always doing something. And if I don't, then I almost stress myself out the following day when I'm back at work, and I'm like, I should have done that yesterday, should have done
Absolutely,
that.
mate.
And you just chase your tail.
Yeah, that's what, and I feel like sometimes if I've not got a structure in my day, like if I don't plan it out the day before, there's a book I've read called Organise Tomorrow Today, and it's basically like it sounds, but if I don't do that, I'm usually like more reactive to my day. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll forget something and I'll react and I'll go and do that now, rather than being proactive on my day and being like, boom, let's nail this, and this, and this. So like, I like having structure to my day, otherwise it sends me a bit mental.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Like that's, obviously we use bookends, so it is great, but I'm really bad at just filling my whole day, like not even leaving a space for lunch or anything. And sometimes that wee space, whether I eat my lunch or not, that could be the time that I'll message somebody back, or so I should really, start organising it.
Yeah, mate, it's
better. Yeah,
we know. I think it's like one of those things. You know, you should do it, but you just don't.
You don't
whatever
want to,
reason, and then you're like, "Fuck, I should have done that."
Yeah, I know. I've just we've changed some of the business around, so we're going, the hair systems and stuff are going limited.
Right. Okay.
Because that's kind of started teaching them, and we've got our own hair systems that are coming in. They're all branded and everything.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
so
really cool.
My partner, she's going to be like coming on board, and hopefully she'll do all those things as well. That's what she likes to do.
Oh, does she like doing that? Oh, superb.
She loves all the admin stuff, and so hopefully it doesn't cause any problems as well.
Oh, well, mate. You just have to manage that as best you can. Definitely will. Yeah.
Well, that'll be all right. But hopefully it'll just make me work a bit harder and do the things that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, I think like you'll boost each other. Like when you're maybe having a day slack and she'll be like, come on, let's get this done. And vice versa. That's the hope. But then also you get the flip side of that, and maybe you're going to be around each other too much, or you're going to be doing each other's head in, you know what I mean? Surely, Ryan, shut up. But it's there's pros and cons to everything, I suppose.
Sometimes I wish I could bring somebody in to do like my social media. Like we're not quite financially there yet to have somebody, because that's something like you do that really well. Yeah, but it's something I enjoy.
I think the importance of social media, as you know, is huge. Like I always equate it to, like, see, back in the day, if you got the chance to advertise your business in a newspaper every single day, you would do it, right, without fail. That is what social media is. It's the internet's newspaper, and you're just getting eyes on your business constantly, and you never know what will end up happening. Like, I got Paul Craig from social media, you know what I mean? Okay. Like, that was just a message on Instagram, you know what I mean? So I'm huge into boosting my social media and trying to put out as much as possible. People will be sick fed up with seeing me on social media, but I think it's massive, mate. But you're right, I think like some businesses maybe get caught up with bringing someone in to do their social media, but then they almost lose their own voice on social media. You know what I mean? It's because like, you'll have a specific way of writing your captions, or even if you don't even consciously know it. There'll be a specific way of writing your captions, and if you bring someone in who's going to take over that, they maybe not speak to the audience the way you speak to your audience. You know what I mean? So that's why I've always I've not done it, but I understand the benefits of it because it gives you so much time. But it's kind of balancing that.
It's a lot of it's just like, obviously I'm cutting hair, and then we've got 40 minutes, and the next guy's in the chair. I don't know if I'm maybe not giving myself enough time, but I also don't want to be that barbershop of, you get your hair cut, there's a camera in your face.
100%,
finding that balance. So that's why I like the podcast, because it gives me something to post on social media. And I'm trying to capture the fact that a barbershop isn't just about a haircut. I know that's fundamentally what it is. Social aspect of a barbershop, 100%. Do you, like, when you do these, do you clip them all down and make them... Elliot does. He gives me like little clips
to put up and stuff like that. So you're getting, because that's the whole thing about if you're doing long form content, you want that short form out of it as well, and that's why a lot of people do podcasts, I suppose.
Well, there's one we just done with Dundee Soul, Chris Boyle, and that's got the most views of any of my reels.
Really?
Ever.
Yeah. Man.
And it's not, we're a barbershop.
Why is that?
Yeah, none of the transformations from bald man hair, nothing.
Maybe your haircuts are shit.
Maybe. That's it. Just work in your podcast room. I quite like your reaction videos.
Yeah, mate. So that gets me in a bit of trouble, but it's good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be like a troll on social media, obviously, and you don't want to be almost like an Andrew Tate who's just saying outrageous things to get traction. But you've got to say something maybe a little bit polarising. So when I'm disagreeing with another S&C coach, like, that is my thing that's polarised, and then, like I say, I'll have people in my comments saying, "What do you know? He would batter you." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And Josh would batter me, mate. You're the coach. That's not what I'm saying here, but it does get very good traction. So I do, and it's enjoyable for me to do it. I like having fun with it and going back and forth.
Just speaking your truth as well. Like you're showing what you know.
And like I don't mind it if like any coach that's seen it hasn't agreed with it. If they want to come up and like we can have a discussion on it, I'm happy to talk to them about it. If I'm wrong, I'll happily put up a video going, "Oh, I said this last time, but actually I was wrong because of this." As long as you're not like so set in your ways where you'll be fighting with people over like this, like it's, at the end of it, it's just strength and conditioning. You know what I mean? It's not that massive. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. So yeah, like I like doing those ones, but yeah, it gets me in a bit of trouble. But.
Yeah. Do you think you'd like to do more like stuff on TV and on camera?
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe doing something when I was out in Thailand, like see if I can do like a colour commentary role at like a Muay Thai event or MMA event. I think that would be kind of cool, doing something like that, or some analyst work. Yeah, I did think about that, maybe doing that for, but it's one of those things like, how do you get into it? It's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
Like, and there's only maybe so many, I'm sure there's thousands of people that want to do it. And there's only very few kind of roles in it, you know what I mean? So it's tricky. But yeah, eventually I might try and...
Joe Rogan, did he not start for free? He did it.
Yeah, he did the first... I think he did the first 12 UFCs for free because they had no money whatsoever at the time. Seems to have worked out all right for him.
He's done all right, yeah.
He's done all right.
You see, do you know Adam Hill as well? Have you seen him commentating?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he's good. He's got a whole character.
He persona. Adam's mental. He is good at that.
You do some. I speak to Adam. Get started like that.
Yeah.
Where is it? Like, where do you take your influence from for like social media and just business?
Yeah. So, like I say, I do like my social media stuff, and I've tried to learn as much as I can about it. Like social media, like I say, you can bring someone in for social media. Therefore, it's a job within itself, right?
Yeah.
So it's very hard to become good at social media and know what you're doing. People might just think it's just sticking something up, right? And sometimes it does work like that. You just stick something up, you don't even think about it, and it just blows up. You're like, fuck, where did that come from? But learning about how many hashtags to put, or like what key phrases to use, or your SEO, or knowing that your name on Instagram is searchable, that bold part searchable, so making sure it's... Like I've seen strength and conditioning coaches put like their MSBC, like all their degrees in it, but that's not going to help them be searched because no one's searching for MSBC or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? So knowing things like that is super, super important. And I just learned from people like Gary V, so Gary Vaynerchuk, and TikTok's massive for social media help when it's got all these tips and people breaking down. I sent actually my profile to a guy. He was doing free like analysis of people's profiles. And I sent it to him, and he was like telling me how I should structure like my profile a bit better and what I should be doing, and other creators in the space and stuff like that. So just looking out for something like that has been pretty useful. But you've kind of just got to stay in the sphere of social media a little bit and know what's culturally appropriate is to be posting. So like, for example, Jake Paul and Tyson Fury just had a fight, right? Sorry, Mike Tyson. And obviously, I want to be posting stuff about that.
Oh, of course.
Because at the time, that's getting some people are searching for it. So you want to be hopping on the back of that bandwagon. Likewise, if there's a fight and I'm a celebrity, Big Brother, whatever it is, I should probably comment on that because it's to do with fighting and it's in the cultural sphere. Shit like that, you just learn as you go, I suppose.
We had a bit of fun with a couple of things like that. I can't even remember. It was a couple of years ago. Brazil were playing, so I got a wig, and you know Darryl that works in here, tall, skinny, bald guy, like perfect. Cut it into the classic Ronaldo.
On the front.
And then now that's kind of like a running thing. So Scotland playing at the Euros. Yeah, got a wig, shaved it right down short, sprayed the Scotland flag on it, and glued it on his head. He's brilliant. He was wandering up to the shop with it on.
That's class. But that's the kind of stuff you've got to do, almost like a tongue-in-cheek kind of stuff. Fun. And it's just good fun, and that gives you good traction.
Yeah, engagement's good for that as well.
Yeah, 100%.
But we're going sort of like circling back to Dundee. What businesses are you looking at just now? Are there other gyms or even just coffee shops or anything?
Obviously, I like what you do here in terms of having you've got your niche, which is the hair systems, and you've got your podcast. And I think Dundee Soul's very good on social media as well. They're quite big, so I like following them as well. I think you can kind of take a little bits of information from a lot of people. Jigsaw Media are quite good with their social media. There's lots of businesses. I don't try and copy too much gyms in Dundee. Sweatbox are quite good for their social media because they've got the good old Shelley McCoy, and she's very good at it.
Just even just like businesses in general doesn't necessarily have to be social media.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I don't do anything specific with Dundee, and that's maybe something that I should do. Instead of maybe looking at just social media, I should probably be looking more for businesses and what they're actually putting out there and how their website's structured. I haven't even got a website, you know? Like, and I need to get on stuff like that. I'm so far behind with that.
No, because Dundee's quite good, and like I love the podcast because of the collaborations.
Aye,
like it's quite local,
absolutely.
and from a selfish point of view, I can tap into your followers, Dundee Souls, like just, and even every time I post one, Chris reshared it, we gained 20, 30 followers just from that in that instance, and then Cheese Toasty, like Sam and Kate, that was brilliant for us. That's been viewed nearly 1,000 times on YouTube.
That's really good.
Great.
It's good, yeah. I think another people who do really well is Chris Hever at Hever Street Foods. He's really, really good with social media and makes it all like, I can do this stuff, but like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
It ties it all in. It ties it in with Dundee, the waterfront and stuff. He does really well his stuff. I like his stuff.
He's quite good, and just engaging the customer as well. It's photos of them. So people will go there.
Yeah.
Like obviously they want that, but some of them will want the photo taken.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
It's almost like what you're doing here. You're saying a barber shop isn't just about the haircuts. It's about the social aspect. It's the same for him. He's making it not just because you could just put up a picture of coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a picture of a toasty. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about that. It's about the people that come, the interactions, and all that kind of thing. Yeah. So I like that.
Perfect. So we just obviously spoken about the business that you like locally. What sort of other cities round about are you looking to like maybe expand in, or just that you quite like?
Yeah,
Dundee's quite up and coming. It's getting there, but
but it just hasn't got maybe the numbers. It's just a smaller city, you know that. So I've been asked a few times to open up somewhere more in the central belt, like whether it's Glasgow or Edinburgh, and those are probably the only two places I would look to open up in. Probably Glasgow. They've got quite good combat sports gyms and things like that, so I'd probably look to open up one in there, and then it'd be more further afield. But I think I would maybe do it as a franchise kind of thing.
That'd be cool.
Eventually, I'd probably do a franchise thing. But obviously, that's probably a few years down the line now. I want to get my current gym maximised and kind of making much more profit than it is at the minute, and then. Because buying a gym or investing in a gym is fucking expensive.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It's expensive, mate. So
how does it work? Like, do you need to rent equipment?
Yeah, so most places rent equipment, mate. But I never, because I didn't want to have the stress of having those overheads.
Yeah.
So I was quite fortunate where I had the money to like buy most of my equipment. And then you get to a point where you've got the basis of a gym. You maybe not got everything you need, but then at least you're making money at that point, and then your money you just reinvest back into the business, and you reinvest back into bits of equipment and things like that, and then you're in a fully kind of functional place or a fully kind of kitted out gym. So we've just got our saunas in the gym now. We've got our ice bath. Where in the new year we'll be getting a leg press and a Smith machine, and that's pretty much the gym completely done. I would think maybe like a bit more cardiovascular equipment like ski ergs and bikes and stuff, but that's pretty much it. But if you were to like, say I was to go into Glasgow, the rent and everything, you're talking about 100 grand, like easily to buy all the equipment, maybe a bit less, but it would be fucking expensive, man.
It's really hard. It's like one shop or one unit. It's not easy, but I don't know, it seems difficult, but it's much easier when you just get started like that. You build it up.
Yeah, build it up slowly. Yeah.
But going to the next one, I find like this one, when I started this shop, it was just me. So it was missing some things, but that's okay, because once I got busy, then I added bits and bits. But if I was to open another one, I feel like the other one would have to be ready to go. Because I wouldn't really be there as much. It's not like I'd be filling this and then I'd move to there.
100%.
My money's made here.
100%. You would want it to be in keeping with your brand. So you'd want to have the wood and the logo nice and the Marshall speaker and stuff like that. You'd want all that, right? And it's the same with my gym. I would want it to have all the primal strength equipment. I'd want it to be nice black and silver and all that. But it's just a lot of investment, man.
It's
difficult to kind of, how do you scale a business like that? Do you, and then like, I know some people who run businesses say, don't even blink an eye about getting a massive loan out.
Oh, that gives
me the fear.
Yeah, I don't have different day to day. Luckily I don't have any loans.
No.
Because like that, similar to yourself, like grew quite like organically, just save some money and but for me to grow, I think it would need to be a loan. And
I mean, there's obviously investors in Dundee. You can get maybe an investor on board, and I know people will be listening to this thinking, "Fuck, just get a fucking $100 loan." I didn't know, and it's not anything to them, but that just kind of scares me.
I couldn't sleep at night. Because I've got we've talked about taking the podcast to try and take it on the road and things like that.
Yeah.
That would be good, because then we can tap into again a further market. But that's a whole day. Then we're not just giving up a few hours of our time. We're giving up, and then we're not earning. And then I've got my next idea for a shop is I want something a bit more mobile. So I'm not necessarily tied to a location. So I'm looking at things like that, but that's a lot of money.
I think it's hard for a business like yourself when it's to scale, when you don't sell online plans we talked about for myself. So I always know there's no real ceiling on the amount of programs I can sell, because I'm hopefully going to get more followers and more followers and more followers. So I can scale my business or my income that way, whereas you are doing something that's in person.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
So it's a different thing, and that's maybe why you, like we talked about when you went on your course to learn about the hair systems, that's why that guy does that. Because people come to him, and there's, I don't know how many people are on the course, but
it's loads,
loads of people on the course, and you can charge quite a lot of money for the course. I imagine it'd be quite expensive to be on that course, and that's how maybe you scale in that kind of way. But
that's we done that. We taught in Edinburgh, and it was really good. It's probably the most I've earned in a day.
Yeah.
Didn't earn as much as I should have, because I'd never done it before, so I bought more than I needed. Next time I'll be able to whittle it down.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for me to scale it, I think education need to be the way, or just go ridiculous with your prices and take that leap and just try and find that market of people that are willing to pay things. But that's scary, because then you push people that have supported you away. They supported you for years.
They can't justify the prices anymore.
Yeah,
but
they need, that's location based as well.
I get that. So what I did, I put my prices up, right? But what I did was I maybe had it's for new customers only. But I know people even just people that have been on me for a long time. So it's like a loyalty bonus. Yeah. They're frozen until this day, whatever it may be. But from the bottom line perspective, it makes sense, because say you put your prices up, whatever you put your prices up, and you lose 5 clients, well, you're making more money, and you're working for less time, because you've lost 5 clients, but you've put your price up, so you're making more money or the same amount of money for less amount of time.
Yeah.
So obviously it does make sense to do it, but I'm like you, there's always a bit of hesitation to do it, and you're like, oh no, what about Steve?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody supported you from day one, especially with haircuts.
I know.
About looking absolute god awful. Haircuts are getting better, and I can. It's something that I don't know, I struggle with all the time, and that's why the hair systems were good, because that was a new market, so you could set your prices
straight away. Yeah, you know what to charge.
And if we do try and get something a bit more mobile, then that might be more opportunity to put a high price point on that, because convenience, instead of you have to come here.
Yeah, we'll come to you kind of thing.
Yeah, or to market it at somebody higher end and offer a bit more, most people's hair or something.
Something, you got to provide them something a little bit extra if you're doing that, I suppose. But I think that's a good idea, going mobile and maybe just camp outside in the ferry in these posh places.
We're working on it. We tried St Andrews Uni. You've been hounding them, every department. Just find out, there's you can go on their website, find names, just ping off emails. Just saying, can I put I don't know, this trailer here? No, right, try this guy. Can I put this here? No. But try the Union, can I put it here? No. But somewhere like St Andrews would be great, because students does seem to have a bit of money there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the students all leave, and I can leave.
Yeah.
And go and do whatever I want. Yeah. Go and explore new areas, or...
Absolutely. Or even if you go to a sporting event like the Open or something in St Andrews, if you manage to get a stall there cutting hair, that'd be unbelievable.
Oh, it takes one person. You used to talk about Paul Craig.
Man.
And then you blow up.
Like I say, I used to message countless people a day. Like, and just when I started off, like, oh, would you like a free program? Would you like a free program? And like, obviously 99% of them do not see the message, and the other 0.5% do see it and rubber you, and then 0.5% will get back to you. But it's just a numbers game at that point. You've just got to put yourself out there, and you've just got to fucking email people and just put your ego aside. And
I've done that recently. I got into my country music, and there's a guy coming, Scotty McCreery, to Glasgow.
Right, okay.
So messaged him, got ignored. So went online, found his press team, emailed them, and then eventually this one woman got back to me saying, no, unfortunately that's something you'll have done, but if you need it, I have to save the details. I'm like, it's the closest I've ever came.
That's what you got to do, because one day it's going to be Zach Bryan coming. Yeah, exactly. He's like, yeah, I want a haircut.
Yeah, I'll take a haircut. I don't know, he's not got many left. Maybe get him a hair system. But so yeah, we've got, what advice, like somebody's wanting to start out, what would you say to them?
I would say just do what we just talked about, to be honest, and put yourself out there a little bit and offer your services for free. Like say that's how I got my first clients. Then you're getting money through the door because the people that follow them are going to come to you. You go, oh, who is that fucking that trains so-and-so? It's this guy. I'm going to message him. Because people just want to go to you at that point. So don't ever be afraid to work for free. Not obviously, not forever, but certainly for a little bit of time, you know what I mean? Maybe offer them a program. And then you're also getting client testimonials off the back end of that as well. You get your transformation pictures in my world or whatever it may be. So yeah, don't be afraid to kind of put yourself out there and offer your services for free, or even a session or two or whatever it may be. And then obviously social media. Social media. Like we talked off camera about word of mouth, and word of mouth is still an absolute, it works. You know what I mean? It will always work. But now we've got social media and word of mouth. You know what I mean? You want to tie the two together, and you want to be, I like getting kind of known in my niche within my city first. So I concentrated on posting and tagging Dundee as a location and doing all that and just getting known in that. And then I wanted to get known maybe even more in Scotland, so I'd follow people that are athletes in the Scottish kind of world, and then it'd be UK, follow them. And that's how I kind of think about it, get known in your area first and then work outwards from there.
Yeah, no, that definitely works. Like Dundee's small enough that word of mouth is enough to get you, like saying, in your local area. But out with that, it's,
again, that's where you're going to hit a ceiling. Whereas that social media doesn't have a ceiling, and you could put up a post, like one of my posts got I think 1.2 million views on it. Like
brilliant.
I could never get that kind of exposure in a million years without social media. You know
what was the post like? What was it about?
Me slagging off some fighters. And the abuse was insane.
But if any of the fighters get in touch?
I've had a few people comment on it, like fighters that I know. And like, and the good thing is, I now see these fighters, a lot of these fighters follow me, right? So then I'll see them at events and I'll be able to talk to them because we follow each other. So it's a networking thing as well. So you get to know all these people that you would never know in a million years. It's cool, that's so-and-so and that's so-and-so, and you get to meet them and speak to them because they follow you. So yeah, you can get eyeballs on you, it's crazy. And you never know, it's always like a compounding. It's almost like compounded interest, and you never know what's the one thing that's going to explode. And just like you hear about stories on TikTok all the time of a singer posting one thing and then now they're massive.
It's blown up.
Yeah, they're massive and they're multi-millionaires. So I'm waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, it does take one. Like one person can change your life, whether it's a client or just a random person walking past on the street, and that's like going back to the networking. I think that's really important in any business, and there's not. Around here, there's a couple of people that are trying like networking events, but it's very niche to like their industry. It's specific to the industry, and sometimes I think a wider net would be a bit better. And hopefully with the podcast, once we've hit that magic sort of number of 10, people keep saying you need to hit 10. Once you've done 10, you'll do all right. But then try and have like a podcast party, just something. Do you know, bring everybody together, all these businesses, and then see if there's something like one can do for the other. And
so you would do a podcast party with like maybe all the guests that you've had on,
and then invite them and maybe give everybody like a +1, or do you know, like, or bring like a couple of 5 people with you. Whoever that is.
I'll be there. Sign me up.
We spoke to Fraser at EH9, and I was like, can we do it in your place? He's like, yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Location sorted.
Yeah, so maybe after the new year, everybody will give up alcohol in January and then maybe come February.
Yeah, we'll be wanting to get drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what I can bring to that party. Some dumbbells or something.
Yeah, bring something. I don't know. Do games. And you can, yeah, I don't know.
I'll just bring my wit.
Yeah. So, do you have any advice for me? Like, known you for a few years now, but I don't know how much you know about the business, but I'm a wee bit behind you in terms of starting my business. You've been going for longer. Yeah, was there anything you should say that you think I should be doing, or?
Just kind of think what we've talked about already is the scalability of a business like that. I think you should go down the teaching route, absolutely. I mean, obviously you feel confident about it, like I know a lot of people, like in my realm, it'd be like almost being a PT and then straight away doing online personal training. Like you need to learn the job first. And obviously you've been doing, how long have you been in hair systems for now?
3-4 years.
Yeah, so you're in a place now where you could be doing the teaching for people and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be a good avenue for you. The social media, like how many posts are you doing?
Oh God,
I don't know. Like so, like I am very stringent on. I will have at least one post on Instagram per day. Like
okay.
I set time. My morning is I'll go and grab. Usually, I was going to say a coffee to sound sophisticated, but it's a Monster Energy drink. If I'm honest, right? Because I don't like coffee. But Monster Energy drink. I'll sit down and I'll look at like the news of MMA and boxing or whatever it be, and I'll be thinking like, how can I do a post on that? In some way, shape, or form, or what? And at first, it kind of takes you a lot of time to get used into it. You're like, oh fuck, how am I supposed to make this into a post? But it kind of becomes a little bit more automatic when you do it. So I would say set time aside for your social media, because especially if you're going to think about online courses, or you've got another avenue to your, like string to your bow, having the mobile thing, and you want a bigger social media presence. Yeah,
I do. That is something I need to do. And I think I need to set time aside, like your plan my day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you time your posts, or do you just
so like
I should be bothered now, so I'm putting it out now?
For me, it is usually best to be posting in the evening. Just think about people are not at work, you know what I mean? So they're going to be on the phone more, right? So usually your best posting at like 6, 7, 8, 9, usually, right? I just have my times in the morning when I do my work. So I post one in the morning at say 9. If I am posting a second one a day, which I do try to, will be around 6, 7. But yeah, something that you have got to set aside. You're not just going to accidentally post every day. You know what I mean? It is something that you need to be quite strict about.
I got an Apple Watch recently, and when I got that, I was brilliant at taking photos because I didn't have my phone. I didn't need my phone on me.
Okay.
So I just put it on like one of these stands, and I would just snap it out, and I've fallen out of that. And that was great.
Yeah, I think like time lapses for you pretty cool, and obviously you've got your transformations from the hair before and after.
The transformations.
And getting cool transitions of the haircut, you know, when like you zoom in, zoom out, as the hair change, like that would be pretty cool, mate. I think. You should get a lot.
The transformations are difficult. Not everybody wants a photo taken.
Obviously, you've got a little mask thing,
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
I need to try and figure something else out.
Also, I was thinking about like more behind the scenes of like you getting the stock in and talking through the stock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
How it actually works. Because I don't know, like for me, I don't know anything about it. Like I know anything about the hair system.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Like maybe what the stuff's made of, or how long it lasts. I don't know if you do like how-tos, like how to wash it. I don't know. Like do that, but
that doesn't require a model.
That's you talking through it. And it's more behind the scenes and kind of how-tos and kind of that kind of stuff. And the mental benefits as well, mate. Like because it is a massive. Well, the reason people will get hair systems is because mentally they don't want. They feel better
and confidence.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. So like talking about the mental boost that will give you and stuff like that, I think should be big for you, mate.
And even today, I did have like I need to write things down, but when I was training with Sean this morning, absolutely sweating, and it's solid. It's not going anywhere. I need to try and like highlight that.
100%.
Yeah, I need to see. So yeah, I'll figure something out.
Man.
But no, it's cool. Like I love doing the podcast as well. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I appreciate you coming on. And
no problem, mate.
Yeah, talking about your business and everything. It's great to have like somebody's undivided attention. I don't know. There's no phones going off. There's no distractions, and I need to do this for my socials as well. And
probably, mate,
come into work and do it instead of sitting on the couch.
Make it. Set time aside and you'll smash it out.
What was that book called again?
Organise Tomorrow Today.
Organise Tomorrow.
Brilliant.
I'll have a look at that.
Really good.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Adam.
No bother, my man.
Appreciate it.
No bother, mate.